The Pianist in the Ruins. After the firestorms of 1944, Warsaw lay shattered. Buildings sagged like broken bones, streets wore coats of dust and ash, and silence settled where laughter used to echo. Among the ruins stood the skeletal remains of the Grand Opera, its charred archways pointing skyward like fingers in prayer. The opera house had once been a jewel, gilded balconies, red velvet seats, and a grand piano imported from Vienna. It was said that when the pianist Helena played, the music could make the angels weep. But she refused to leave when the bombs fell. Her last performance was not for nobles or soldiers, but for the dead and dying. Her final audience, flames, smoke, and the crack of mortar shells. When the building collapsed, Helena was never found. The years passed. Grass grew between the broken stones. Children were warned not to play too close. Ghosts live there, the elders said. On the full moon, they weep through music. And indeed, every month, under the silver glow, faint piano music drifted through the empty alleys. Not the kind of sound that echoes. It lingered, like perfume on old silk, sweet and sad. The kind of music that made your heart ache for things you'd never lived. In 1961, a boy named Marek, barely 11, stood at the edge of the ruins. He had heard the stories. His grandmother called it soul music, said it kept the city breathing. But Marek didn't believe in ghosts, only in sound and silence. That night, curiosity won. He crept past rusted fences and crumbled archways. The music was clearer now, an elegant waltz played with a sorrowful tenderness. There was no doubt, it came from the very heart of the opera house. He followed. Past shattered chandeliers and fractured marble statues, Marek found her. She sat in the center of the ruins in a pool of moonlight. Her dress, once ivory, now hung in ribbons of soot and lace. Her skin was pale, untouched by time, and her fingers moved as if touching keys that were no longer there. The piano was skeletal too, strings rusted away, ivory keys long gone, but somehow the music lived. Marek froze. She lifted her head slowly, like she hadn't looked at anyone in decades. Her eyes were a gray that shimmered, like smoke trapped in glass. "You hear it too," she whispered. He nodded. "Yes." A pause, a smile. "Good," she said. "Then it's not lost." The wind stirred dust between them. He looked at her hands, still dancing across nothing, each note falling into the night like a drop of grief. "Why do you play?" he asked. "Because memory fades," she replied, "and they must remember. Even ashes have a voice." Tears welled in Marek's eyes, though he couldn't explain why. "When the world burns again," she said softly, "play this for those who remain. They'll need to know what was beautiful and what was broken." Then, slowly, she began to fade. Not like smoke, like light leaving a room. The piano disappeared first, then her hands, then her eyes, and finally, the music itself, a last lingering note that hung in the air long after she vanished. Marek stood alone in the ruins, the silence almost too heavy to bear. Years later, Marek became a pianist. He performed across Europe, famous not for flashy skill, but for the depth of emotion in his playing. He only ever played one piece, the same haunting waltz from the ruins. When asked where he learned it, he would smile and say, "It was taught to me by a ghost who remembered beauty when the world had none."